Alright, so today's video is going to be just a little bit different. We don't have any video or audio that we're going to watch or listen to today, but we are going to talk about something that is extremely important, very, very serious, very, very disturbing, and just downright horrible. So I want to preface this video by giving a blanket trigger warning. We're going to talk about a lot of just absolutely horrible shit in this video, so this is your warning. If you don't like talking about violence or you can't hear about violence, especially against young people, then I would say click away. Transphobia, really, really horrible stuff. But some of you might have heard about this. Some of you may have not heard about this. But a non-binary student in Oklahoma, it's a young non-binary student by the name of Benedict, only 16 years old, just a teenager, was brutally assaulted and died one day after this brutal assault when they were just trying to live their life. They were just trying to live their life, and they were brutally assaulted, brutally attacked, and in turn wound up passing away from this disgusting, heinous, horrible attack. So, what happened? Non-binary student dies after violent bathroom fight in Owasso High School in Oklahoma. There's a lot of things that we're going to touch on about the story because there's a lot of things that are really, really fucked up. There's a lot of things that don't make sense from the response from the school. There's a lot of news media that is just reporting on this in the worst way possible. We're going to cover all of this stuff. Benedict, a non-binary 16-year-old student at Owasso High School in Owasso, Oklahoma, has died after a fight in the school's bathroom. Local news coverage of the death refers only to the student's unexpected death, which is something that we are absolutely going to address later in the video. Yet the article reports testimony from a friend's parent that details a savage beating by multiple students. The article from kjrh.com, which I have pulled up right here, which is not really a great article, and we're going to talk about why just in a little bit, quotes the mother of the victim's friend, who states, quote, "I think complications from brain trauma, head trauma is what caused it," unquote. She went on to say the three older girls were beating the victim in the girls' bathroom, and eventually a teacher entered the bathroom and broke the fight up. The woman goes on to say, as quoted by KJRH, quote, "I know at one point one of the girls was pretty much repeatedly beating their head across the floor. They couldn't walk to the nurse's station on their own, and the staff didn't call the ambulance, which amazes me." So first thing I want to say is I don't know why they are using she, her pronouns. I saw some article or something that stated explicitly that Nex uses they, them pronouns, so I don't know why they're using these pronouns here. I'm guessing maybe it's because it was a direct quote from the KJRH news article. But the fact that this is the first thing, one of the first things that doesn't make sense about the school's response. They didn't call an ambulance. They didn't call an ambulance, and Nex was literally unable to walk themselves to the fucking nurse's station. I guess that's what they call it, nurse's office, whatever. If you are unable, if anyone is unable to physically get up after being brutally beaten by three other individuals, if you are not able on your own, under your own power, to get up and get to the nurse, you need to call a fucking ambulance, okay? You need to do that. I feel like that's common fucking sense. Not only did the staff at Owasso High fail to call an ambulance, but they also did not report the violence to the local police. It was only after the child was taken to the hospital that the police were informed about the beating. Next, Benedict was taken to the hospital on the day of the fight, February 7th, by a grandparent who was the child's primary guardian. Released from the hospital that night, Benedict was taken to the hospital the next day and died on February 8th. This is, I can't make any claims in this video for legal reasons here on YouTube. I can only share what is my opinion. But in my opinion, I firmly believe, that the school is, or was, trying to cover up what happened to Nex Benedict. Because I feel like they should have called an ambulance. We're going to get into some other really fucked up things here in just a little bit about the superintendent of Oklahoma schools. But they didn't call an ambulance when they absolutely should have called an ambulance for Nex. And they also didn't report this to the local police. They didn't fucking do anything about it. Apparently, the school just decided to not do anything about this. So when I look at something like this, I think, okay, you're trying to cover this up. You know you fucked up, number one, by not calling an ambulance, and number two, by not reporting it to the local police. The media caught wind of it, and now, you know, it's like, what else are people supposed to think other than you tried to cover it up? Because that's exactly what it looks like. I believe that they were trying to cover up this attack. They didn't want people to know about what happened. And one of the reasons I think that they don't want people to know is because the Oklahoma superintendent of schools is literally a fucking piece of shit. He's actually a fucking horrible person. Oklahoma's new Republican superintendent of public schools is facing bipartisan criticism for appointing a right-wing social media influencer from New York to state a library advisory committee. And that right-wing social media influencer is Libs of TikTok. If you don't know who Libs of TikTok is, you're doing great in life. Go ahead, keep doing what you're doing, because Libs of TikTok is run by this person named Chaya Raychik. I don't care if I pronounced her name wrong. I really don't give a shit about this person, because this person is a disgusting human being. Superintendent of Public Instruction Ryan Walters announced Chaya Raychik's appointment to the committee on Tuesday, saying she is on the front lines showing the world exactly what the radical left is all about: lowering standards, pouring in schools, and pushing woke indoctrination, on our kids. So if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about the Oklahoma superintendent for public instruction, Ryan Walters, this is a picture of him, then I don't know what is. Ryan Walters, you and Libs of TikTok are two of the reasons that next Benedict is no longer here on this earth. And again, found this really great article from Daily Calls. Libs of TikTok targeted a district, then a non-binary student was killed on campus. And they go over how Ryan Walters inviting Libs of TikTok on and having her involved in the community has led to this disgusting, horrible, nasty attack. Another thing that I need to address is the news media. The news media reporting on next Benedict's death. I went over what happened. I told you guys, about the brutal attack, which, we have still very little details on. But I went over this, and the local news media, at least much of it, maybe not all of it, but a lot of the big local news media stations, wanted to run headlines like this: 16-year-old Owasso student who died unexpectedly was laid to rest. 16-year-old student laid to rest after unexpected death. High school student laid to rest after unexpected death. Funeral held for 16-year-old Owasso student after unexpected death. It wasn't an unexpected death. It was not unexpected. All of the headlines should read 16-year-old Owasso student killed. Killed by classmates in brutal attack. That's what the fuck it should say. And the caption on this tweet I think is really, really good. Is every news source in Oklahoma transphobic garbage? This is really gross. And again, I have the KJRH article pulled up right here. 16-year-old Owasso student laid to rest after unexpected death. You just saw that headline in the tweet. It's not unexpected. I'm sick and fucking tired of seeing all of the news media. Even the local news media doesn't give a shit about respecting the fucking trans community. They can't even do the bare minimum. They can't even fucking not lie about what happened. That's the bare minimum. That is the bare minimum we expect out of even our local fucking news. Don't just say shit that's not right. But they can't even do that. They can't even do that. I look at this story, and the only thing that I think is, or I feel is just hurt, okay? My heart hurts for the trans community. These individuals are just trying to live their lives, and America is slowly but surely making it so they can't do that. And that's fucked up. It's more than fucked up. It's completely dystopian in every single way, shape, and form. This should not have happened. Violence against trans individuals should never happen. Violence against any group of individuals should never happen. And we're at a point in our country right now where young students are so radicalized by the right's horrible, heinous, nasty, disgusting, transphobic rhetoric that they're literally killing their fellow trans students. If that's not completely fucked up, 1,000,000% dystopian, one of the most horrible things that you've ever heard, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You're probably a psychopath. It's just absolutely fucking terrible, and I feel like the least that I can do is just talk about these things and raise awareness about them, because we have to talk about this. There's absolutely no reason for it. And again, the right's rhetoric against trans people existence is, I firmly believe, the main reason that something like this brutal, awful, horrible killing of someone who was just trying to live their life, that is the reason that something like this happened. That's the reason that we are seeing these heinous hate crimes against all different groups of people, especially transgender individuals. That is going to be it for this video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, press that bell, turn on all notifications so you guys never miss an upload. And guys, please, 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 I read every single comment that gets left for me. Please let me know what you thought of this story. If you heard about it before you saw this video, let me know. If you watched the whole video, let me know what you thought of Next Benedict just literally trying to exist, trying to live their life, and being literally fucking killed for it.